Some logging sounds far off in the distance. Oh boy, it's gotten cold. I was wondering if I'd be seeing some snow this year. Got down to 28 degrees last night. Pretty dang chilly. Hey everybody, welcome to today's project video. Going to put in a manual choke kit. Finally found my choke plate and parts. I took this out because it wasn't working right. I didn't feel like adjusting it because I also didn't like the automatic function. I thought it would be fine completely without it, but in the cold mornings it'd be nice to have the throttle turned up a little bit. When the choke is engaged, it locks the throttle up slightly so it keeps running. Without the choke, it's a hard start, but it'll get going. It won't stay going though, so you have to sit there for about 30 seconds and make sure the engine is good and warm. So I think a choke cable would be nice just to help that start on the cold mornings and keep my throttle up and keep it from dying. So we got a few things here. We got a couple things that you can find at your local auto parts store, and then looks like a tractor's choke cable. Looks a lot like something you'd see on the riding lawnmower. So you can probably find that at a hardware store. Also, I'll throw an eBay link below for that. Something to replace the dinky little one that comes in this kit. This thing is pretty, that might work. Probably worked just fine actually, but that knob looked pretty cheap and thought I would try getting me a bigger cable. So we'll try it out. It's also got a lot more length on it, so that might be handy to have an extra. Let's check out this choke kit. Comes with all sorts of stuff. I think it's a kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of different options for different carburetors or different setups. It's got two different little cover caps, which probably goes where this thermal thing went. Got some instructions. Let's get into it and see how this works. Alright, let's get to putting this flap back in and figure out how to attach all the hardware this thing came with. So I see a lever in here. So it looks like that will clip onto the lid. You got a nut, a bolt, a little bolt, a couple coarse thread screws there, pointed. Looks like maybe it's way to, yeah, okay, so there's a little screw and a cable stop. Another coarse thread screw that is not pointed. And two clippies. And two lock washer rings. So let's go through this and figure out how that all goes together. Obviously we need to get the shaft in the lid and the cap. Maybe a little grease. Got one here that looks like this might lock onto the outside of that somehow. Yeah, looks like it's got to go on that last ring there. So let's put a clip here to be on the second ring. from the last, and then put the outside one on. Oops. Oh wait. Now put it on third to last. There we go. Alright, there it is. Instructions are always good sometimes. Kind of looks like I've been pretty much going along with what they're doing here with the clips. One clip on the outside, one clip on the inside. But I don't see what attaches to this smooth shaft. It's got this thing. Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, yeah. See, there we go. I was like, how does this lock on without any, they're taking, they show a square nut. Why don't I have a square nut? So they're showing like a screw going this way with a nut. And it pinches this thing, so. Okay, so this needs to go on. Got the nut on there. I'll get some Loctite on there too at some point here. But this is a little tricky with this cable stub, because that actually mounts to this on there. The cable goes into that. Wait, goes through it? Yeah, okay, it goes through it. So that needs to go on, and then I could do this. Like so. Okay, yeah. And then the screw goes in there. Let's get some blue Loctite on there. Let's see, this probably, I guess I don't know, let's just snug it up for right now. I'll adjust it later. Okay, it looks like the old hardware is going to work just fine. It's actually already stuck in there kind of good since I spun it around, and these tabs that protrude out a little bit caught on that bottom retainer clip that I cannot get out, so that's looking good. Good kit. I was wondering how well this is going to line up and work. So, okay, yeah. Put a couple dabs of Loctite on these just in case. You don't really feel like they need it, but I don't want to lose these parts. Awesome. I like it. Okay. Shaft to put back in here. Okay, so this rod here just goes down and give it a twist. Get a piece of linkage in there. And then we need choke plate rod. And the choke plate. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and dab. Same thing with this. Let's put a little dab. Loctite, tiny bit. Don't want it to drip through. Okay, the plate's back on. Now let's put this little connecting piece on here. This, I think. Alright, all hooked back up. Choke. No choke. Yeah, looks like the cable this comes with, unless I went this way. Maybe I could just put a hole right there, actually. That'd be a good spot for a choke. Let's see, do I want to use the... I think I just might use this anyway. It's not the worst. If it breaks, then I got a spare here. It just seems like overkill unless I want to put this on the dash. I mean, you're giving me a lot of space with this cable, but a little too much, so... and I don't feel like cutting it. So let's just use the original and put the knob right there. And now I got to figure out how to mount the cable. This needs to be held in place. Looks like that's probably what this clamp is for. Let me put tension on it. Look at the instructions. Yes, so something like that. That goes on that, and that pinches it. Comes with everything. This is great. Okay, looks like it would work best over here. Have to bend the bracket a little bit though, but yeah, I do got a spare nut ready to go. Kind of a big hole. I think I will. That should be alright. If it was any bigger, I'd put a couple washers on there, give it a little more stability. It only seems to be supplying one nut for that, but maybe that's all it needs to give a good pinch. Alright, let's drill a hole. Alright, got that nut off there, and before I put that in for good, I'm going to just put a few drops of 3-in-1 oil in there. I'll work it around really good. Pull that cable out a little bit. Something thicker might actually work a little better, but bigger one's handy, and it makes a big difference. So, I don't know, next time I come around, put some grease in there. Nut back on. And tighten that up with a wrench here. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, it kind of feels like that's all that needs. And you can't get a nut in the bottom hole anyways, so I don't know, that's in there. Actually really good. Okay, so let's make sure that's all the way forward. Put the little screw in there. Put some Loctite on it. There's locking washers on each side of this. That should be good. Used the ones that it came with. Plastic cap on this metal shaft is a pretty tight fit, so This needs to move freely, for the cable to be able to push it back. Alright, this shaft has a bunch of rings on it with some pretty sharp edges, so I was able to just ream that through a few times, and that got it cleaned up enough so that I can freely move back and forth. Still a little tight there in the middle, so maybe could just use a round file. Actually, it seems like these edges are what's grabbing, since that is what's sitting halfway through. So I'm just grabbing them with the needle nose here and just rolling the shaft and taking those edges off. Go with that and maybe I'll put a little grease on there. I think I got a little waterproof grease here. Maybe just smear a little bit of that on. It's really thick. Much better. I left a little slack on there, so I give it an extra push if I need to, but that's working pretty well. Need to step on the throttle to open that up all the way here. Yeah, choke. Alright, top of this is hitting the air filter, so I gotta bend this over or something. And maybe I should bend it the other way. Yeah, I probably should. I have to go one hole down. Alright, easy enough. Okay, I think it's a good enough spot. Not gonna hit the fan, not rubbing on anything bad or doing anything it shouldn't be. Perfect day for this, holy moly. Look at all the snow coming down. Holy crap, look at my windshield. Might have flooded it when I was working on it and pumping that throttle. This is a crap ton of snow, and like this has just started since this morning. I don't know, 5 hours ago, 4 hours ago. It's awesome. 5 inches. 4 or 5 inches. A little over 6 inches. It's crazy. That siren's creepy. And this is kind of fun. Holy moly, it just kept on snowing. Got up to 7 1/4 inches. Doesn't like the choke. I'm even pulling out too far. High idle is still set in. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to learn that a little bit. Maybe this doesn't need to be pulled out all the way. At least I still have the option to pull that back a little bit and lock the throttle up. That was the main thing of putting this back in. Because normally I would have to sit here holding the throttle for the first 30 seconds to a minute until it warmed up enough to run on its own. Alright, day 3. Still got a ton of snow out there, but it feels like it's warming up. The sun is out and I bet that's going to melt soon. I hope. I need to get to town for some groceries at some point here. Alright, let's try this again real quick. Seems as though I'm giving it too much choke. The choke flap won't actually close until I tap the gas. So I think if I just pull it right now, it doesn't feel like it opens all the way. And I think that's enough just to lock the high idle and maybe close the choke a little bit. Let's see, let's see. I think I would normally tap that in the mornings when I still have the choke in. One more tap. A little more choke. Yeah, that won't come out all the way until I tap that while I'm holding pressure, it seems like. So no choke. with that pushed in, all I have to do is tap the throttle to turn down the high idle. Which that is a little kind of cold right now. Tap it back on. And once it's warmed up, do that. Good to go. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Starting better than it did. And I can pull it back and lock the high idle setting. So stay tuned. I'm going to take this into town a few more times, and I'm sure I will figure it out in the best process for starting that. Seems like it doesn't like full choke, but we'll see. After a few more trips into town, I'll update you guys with what I think about that. But overall, I like it. Easy kit, easy going, went in without a hitch, and I think that's mission accomplished. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Lots more coming up. Have a wonderful day.